Hey, I'm here. Oh my gosh, is there an echo? Oh crap. Am I echoing? Okay. Um, some good stuff happening. I mean, really awesome stuff. I'm just trying to get the chat going. Okay, so I have to figure out and I know there's a way to do this because I've done it like a bunch of times. I forgot to put my earrings back in. Um, I I save videos and reels and stuff on like Facebook and Instagram, and then I try to go back and find them again. Have you ever done this? I mean, is it just me? Is it just like, hormonal fun in menopause me? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's here somewhere. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to tell you about. I found this awesome video, and I want to continue talking about protecting yourself, like what you can do to physically protect yourself, like energetically protect yourself, protect your home, protect your office, protect your dreams as an empath. What I really think that is important here is like sleeping next to someone. This is going to drive me crazy. This camera is off. What the hell? Maybe I can fix it from here. Let me see. I know. It's just, it's me. I'm a very interesting Virgo, okay? It's not centered. It's driving me nuts. Whatever. Okay, so I wanted to talk about like how to protect yourself in your sleep because it's important when you are sleeping next to someone or when you're sleeping in the same house as someone. Yes, it does count. Like just sleeping in the same house as someone. I If you're sleeping in the same house as somebody that's stressed out, and you're an empath, you're gonna soak up some of that. I mean, empaths are sponges. Yeah. So I want to talk about that. And all of this is it under saved? I'll bet it's under saved. Yep. Okay, I found it. Yes. Okay, I save videos all the time on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever. TikTok is easy to find. But I found this really, really awesome video, and it really went along with what I've been talking about, like clearing yourself and like clearing your physical body and with salt. All of these spaces, everything I am talking about can be cleared with salt. Now, is it easy to do when you have pets? No, it's not easy to do when you have pets because you're basically creating a salt lick for the cats and dogs that you have in your house. That's not where we want to be. So when we're using salt, we have to be a little bit creative and a little bit careful with it if you have pets. So I've been looking. Now there are different areas, I guess we could say, different food for thought that we could say that people say that you have to cover up this, or you can't leave the salt covered up. Some will say that you have to leave it uncovered. Some will say you can cover it up, that you don't have to change it out, and all this. Okay, there's some things that I believe here. Let's be rational. All right, first of all, I feel like I have 8 million cats. I don't have 8 million cats. I do have some up for adoption, by the way. I feel like I have 8 million cats, but if they think that there's food there, they're worse than the dogs, and they will go and lick the salt. So I came up with some ideas for containers. This is from the Dollar Tree, so it's real expensive, real precious. Okay, something you need to spend a lot of money on. All of that is sarcasm, by the way. Yeah. I also have some small ball jars, which I also put crystals in. I can't get this. There we go. Now, isn't that precious? Isn't that precious? That's precious. Also from Dollar General. Dollar General. This is another option. It's a tube. This is plastic, so it's not glass. So if you have some feline friends that will turn stuff over, or even some canine friends that will turn stuff over, plastic may be the way to go for you. That may work better. I'm just saying, because they all like to do this kind of stuff, don't they? The thing about it is, there are, again, people online that do not, hey, Alethea, hey, Veronica. There are people online that don't want to use plastic. There's people online that feel like it has to be, open, that you can't close it, that it, like, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes, there are some rules here, but are these hard and fast rules? I mean, most witches have cats or some kind of a familiar, so I would think that they would be open to the fact that you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use what's the best salt? Oh my gosh, now that is a good question. Out of the dark, I'm loving that. The best salt, that is a very good question, and I am getting to that. Because I am sort of a salt snob. We want to call it that. Yeah. I mean, I can be a snob about anything, Virgo sun, Capricorn rising. Yep. It's a snob. That's recipe for a snob. Am I right, Veronica, Alethea? Y'all know me pretty well. Yeah. Okay. So I came up with some idea. This is one that I put candles in. So disregard the black stuff at the top. That's not bad energy. That's just candle soot. But I had some ideas for the people that don't want to cover up their damn salt. Okay. All right. And I had to move a lot of shit around because I do have a feline in the cottage with me. Okay. So you guys know that when I do dream jars, I don't know. Wait, maybe you don't know. I did dream jars. It's been a while since I've done a dream jar tutorial. And I like to use, these are not my favorite right here. Here we go. This is a rainbow fluorite candle holder. It is a votive candle holder. I use these as dream jars. Okay. What I like to do with these when we make dream jars, and if you're interested, I'll do that tutorial again. What I like to do with these is I like to put some sort of cheesecloth over it. It does cause curiosity with those cats. Yeah, it does. But it sort of leaves it open at the same time. Okay. And I use salt and sand in my dream jars. Now, I want to answer this question because I do feel like this is very important, and I will be repeating this. But Out of the Dark on YouTube, for those of you that are on Facebook, has asked, what is the best salt? Salt that is not iodized. Okay, biology and chemistry major. You would think I would say that right, but I'm not. I'm from the South. Iodized. Okay, we don't want that salt. We don't want that salt that's chemically treated. My favorite salt is Dead Sea salt. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's my favorite salt. Can you get fakes? 100%. 100%. There are some companies that I buy from. When I lived in Colorado, I used to buy it from the Vitamin Cottage. It was real. Dead Sea salt. I love it. I put it in water, rinse my mouth with it. Yep. Take a bath with it, wash my clothes with it, wash my hands with it. Hello, Michelle. Oh my gosh, Veronica, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Veronica said I had an exquisite taste. So I like Dead Sea salt. 100% my favorite. Okay, second favorite is the pink Himalayan salt. Yeah. Or just sea salt in general. They're like both in second place there. My third favorite, and I cook with this 100% of the time, is kosher salt. Now, I love the kosher salt. I love that you can get it in coarse crystals. If I'm in a pinch and I'm out of pink Himalayan salt and I'm out of Dead Sea salt, then I will use kosher salt to bathe with. I will use kosher salt in my like to wash clothes with. All of that. I just think that it's really it is truly important. I think that salt is I think it is a wonderful healer. I think it is a wonderful cleanser. I think it's great. Okay. Now, does it get the boy stink out of my kids' clothes? No, it does not. But it gets the energetic shit out of their clothes. Because they're children. They absorb everything. And the scary thing is that they're mine and Dr. Seuss's children. And Dr. Seuss is a stronger empath than me. I know I have told you guys this a million times. He is a stronger empath than me. And I have no problem like saying that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with like, you know, he's a stronger empath than me. But I teach it. I talk about it all the time. But I think that at least one of them is definitely like an empath. The other one is just, well, he's just balls to the wall. He's just ready to go. He's ready to just take on the world. But the other one is very like needs to walk through everything. And he absorbs everything from his classmates to his teachers. When if he goes to like a store with us, he absorbs everything. So it's important that I do wash their clothes with salt. So I clear it. And I also use borax because the lovely Carrie Rodriguez, thankfully, helped me to figure out how to get the boy smell out of the clothes. And if you have boys, you know, I have brothers. I really thought that I would have a daughter since I have no sisters, but you know, whatever. Well, hello, Amber Melanie. How are you? I know, look at everyone. I just love this. Okay, so I found this wonderful, wonderful video on Facebook, and I found it too late in the day to share on my on Metaphysical Round Table's Facebook page, but I will get to sharing this because I think it's really awesome. I'm using a version of it. Okay. Hang on. Okay. See, I found, there it is. Okay. So I don't think that you guys can see this clearly on my phone, but I'm going to share this. This is so awesome. So I know you can't see it really well. Maybe you can. This lady is cleansing her hands with a lime and salt, or a lemon and salt. I feel like this is dealer's choice because I've never seen a lemon that green. That looks like a lime to me, but I could be wrong. But cleaning your hands with salt and lemon is really fantastic. What she is saying in here, that it doesn't just clear, it's a cleanse ritual to clear your paths, which, oh my gosh, how freaking awesome is that? I like this because she keeps her jewelry on. Obviously, the salt and the lemon are not damaging to your jewelry, but that is also something that people forget. What is touching our bodies? We've talked about like washing our clothes with salt. What about our jewelry? I mean, that's important. So I sort of, you know, I have ways of cheating. But I sort of set my jewelry on selenite like all the time. So that's a cleansing thing for me, but I am talking specifically about salt here. So if you have your jewelry on when you're cleaning your hands or you're cleaning your energy with salt, it is clearing your jewelry. That's helpful. Which again is why I like Dr. Teal's body wash. Dr. Teal's has body wash. They have bubble bath. and it's salt. They're made with Epsom salts. It's not necessarily my favorite with the Epsom salts. However, if you don't have a bathtub and you need to do some cleansing with with salt, Dr. Teal's is fantastic. And a lot of them have different like scents and different flavors in them. So you have like lavender. Ooh, it's so nice. I mean, and you can make your own body wash too, just letting you know, because you can add salt to your body washes. Dr. Seuss doesn't like it when I do that. So we don't tell him. It's just a special little surprise when he doesn't like, I try to shake it up all the time. It does like it, the salt most of the time will disintegrate, in the, in the body wash, but I still shake it up. And if he doesn't shake it up and it's been like a day, I feel like it sinks to the bottom, and he always gets to the bottom of it and he's just like, why is this sort of burning? I don't know. It's special. Yeah. But it really does change your energy. It's also a great exfoliant. If you're just using the salt in some sort of scrub, it's a fantastic exfoliant. And let me tell you what, I don't care if you're a man, woman, or goat, you need to be exfoliated, especially if you're a goat and like the cashmere. Yeah. So we do need to exfoliate our skin. That's important. And the salt is really good with that. Yeah, I love it. So again, Dead Sea salt is fantastic for that. Dead Sea salt does, oh my gosh, like I cannot think of the names. It does like mix in very well with stuff. It does, but it also holds its structure if you're just putting it in like a small amount of scrub. It won't just like disintegrate, in it. It'll hold its own for a minute. Now, are we going to rub salt into open wounds? It's not a good idea. And I will tell you, my hives, I'm dealing with some issues with I'm just dealing with some health issues, and hives are a part of it. So my hives came back this summer. And while I was dealing with that, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to scrub with salt. So I tried to like still like bathe in it. It didn't bother me when I bathed in it. It bothered me when I was like actually scrubbing with it. That was painful. But taking a bath in it, I still felt cleared. I just didn't feel exfoliated. And honestly, the hives were just exfoliating enough. That was super fun. I know. It's the delights of dealing with autoimmune shit. I mean, do y'all know what I'm talking about? It's unpleasant. Yeah. So I liked this lady, and I am going to share it on Metaphysical Round Table's Facebook page, and I think I can put it on the Beautiful Witches Facebook page, but I need to make sure that Carrie's okay with that, because she allows me to stream to her site and her page, and I really appreciate her for that. And if you need a reading, I'm not taking new clients, but Carrie is a fantastic reader, and she has a great line of merchandise. So check it out. Okay. But she uses this as she's using it on the palms. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, she says by deaths, but I don't necessarily think it has to be by deaths. What she's doing is she is cleaning her palms. She is cleaning the lines, the lifeline, the headline. She's cleaning those things. And I like that because I think that is important. But I like what she's doing. If you're feeling by debts, not deaths, and you feel like nothing is going your way, it might be time for you to clear the energy. I agree. Yeah. It might be time for an energy cleansing and cleansing your paths, because your paths may be blocked by limiting thoughts. Oh my gosh. What did I say when we started like talking about this series? We were talking about, do you love yourself? Like, we're our own worst enemy, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you are wanting to clear your home, I have a client. Oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. She's just beautiful. She was like, she was telling me that she hadn't had salt like sitting around her house in a while. I guess it made her husband feel some kind of way. I mean, I do that to poor Dr. Seuss all the time. But at least have him trained now so that he doesn't always recognize that stuff is an altar in the house. And but I at least have him trained that he puts stuff back, he's not moving things around. If he wants to clean something, that he puts it back. Yeah. Or he asked me, he'll say, I cleaned this area. I don't know if this is an altar, but I don't know if I put it back the way it's supposed to be. Love that. Love that. I know. He's such a good guy. I mean, most of the time I'm like a horrible bitch sometimes. So what are you going to do? Like I could put salt around the house and it wouldn't really faze him. He would just be like, I don't know what she's doing, but I'm not going to ask. But I guess this lady, like after she got married, her husband started asking her like what she was doing. Why is this here? What's going on? And so she started taking the salt up. And now she's working from home. She's living at home. All these things. It's just like a cluster in her house. So there's no salt around. So she's finally just like fed up, had enough of the crazy energy, the stuff that's going on. And she was like, okay, I used to have salt in my house. I don't anymore. What can I do? Okay, this is a good option. Little tiny things, and they make them smaller. Oh my gosh. The Dollar Tree makes these even smaller, like half the size, like less than half the size of this at Dollar Tree, like to about right there. Yeah, that's small. You can put that out and it can be disguised in a plant, behind a curtain, whatever. The corners of your house are always great. Where there's clusters of energy. So the way my living room is, my house is old. It was built in the 60s. So, it's not laid out like the best way, the best way for like modern stuff. But there's an entertainment sort of center thing that my husband built in our living room. But there's like this much space like between that entertainment center and the wall that's next to a window. But energy gets clustered up there. Energy gets stuck there. And it's really, really good for me to keep some salt there. It's really, really good for me to keep a crystal on the entertainment center and some salt there, just to keep that energy flowing, to keep that feng shui like, moving. We don't need that to get stuck there. That's ugly. So, and again, okay, I put the book down somewhere. The feng shui book that I love, I'll find it. But it's a great way to keep that energy from getting stuck there and just like accumulating like dust. Because then it gets ugly and then everybody's fighting and I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? And I'm like walking around and I can see the pockets of energy that are just like stuck. Something's happened. So then it's time for me to either change the salt, clear the crystal, whatever I got to do. And tonight is an eclipse. I sit water out in the moon all the time and I drink it, I bathe in it, I cook with it, whatever. It's fantastic. I don't sit water or crystals or salt or anything out in an eclipse moon. I don't. I love eclipses. I think they're phenomenal energy, but that is also chaos. And I am not bringing that kind of energy in. We got enough. We're full up, So I don't sit water, crystals, or salt out in the moon to clear them during an eclipse. No. That's one woman's opinion. If you have a differing opinion, that is absolutely fine. And you do you. There are lots of people that will tell you not to manifest during an eclipse. I am also one of those people. I don't want to invite in chaos. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're going to clear your salt that you have sitting around your house, you can either dump it and don't put it in the earth. Okay, we don't need to jack up the the ecological systems in your backyard. But you can pour it down the sink, you can wash it down the sink, or you can just throw it in the trash. I do that a lot. And that was what this lady was saying about washing her hands with the lemon or lime and salt, is to throw away the lemon. The thing is, when we use these things for cleansing, for clearing, we need to dispose of them. We need to adios them out of our house. Yeah. You don't need to reuse that shit. Okay? It's not smudge. So, and smudge burns off. It's a whole thing. The other thing I wanted to tell you is adding stuff to your salt. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love adding lavender flowers to my salt. I use lavender for a lot of stuff because it's sort of like selenite. It covers a lot. It does a lot of great stuff. So I add things to my salt. I'll add crystals to it if the crystal is like okay with salt, and you need to look that up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I add rosemary because I grow rosemary. I love to add rosemary. I love to add rose petals to my salt. Let's see. Oh, I do have some salt here. Okay, here's some salt. This is a great container. Has a lid on it, but it has a lid that you can pop it up, and you can put some cheesecloth over this to keep your animals out of it. Just, again, food for thought. I don't have any salt here that I have added herbs and stuff to, but I love adding, I love lemon thyme. I love adding thyme. I love adding rosemary. I love adding, oh my gosh, cedar. I love adding those things to my salt. It enhances it. And we've talked about some of the properties of these herbs. I can go back through them on another time. That would be great. And I don't want to forget, I've used it all, but you can still see it. Black salt. And we can talk about making black salt as well. I should probably put salt out instead of walking through clapping. Okay, no, yes, Michelle, but no. You can absolutely, you can walk through and clap. I mean, because anytime I do like any sort of ritual, anything, I always end it with 3 claps. Just me. I'm sure there's other people that do it. I'm not gatekeeping that. But really putting salt out just adds like a little bit, it adds more, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue that process. I love using borax in laundry and lemon pine saw. I never thought about putting lemon pine saw in, Courtney. That is interesting. But black salt is something like I make black salt, and you can tell I used all of this. I used a lot of it. Black salt is something that I really love to use around my house. And that's where the Dead Sea salt comes in. It is not going to, it really does absorb the black. I use ash to make black salt, but I also use a modern way of adding, it's like a gel food coloring. I use that to add to my salt, and it has the same properties. It's not exactly like the old way of making it, but it's still quite good. And it still has that great salt property, and it still is that black salt. It is. It is. There's, you know, there's modern ways of making these things that doesn't take away from the properties of the salt themselves. Sorry, Mouse just decided to enter the room. Let me get my stuff out of your way, Mouse. So sorry. I know. I cleared off a new place for you to lay down. He's so cute. So I love that. Like clearing the salt. Okay. There was a couple of others that I wanted to show you. I saved these thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good for them. This is going to be so great. And now I don't have them, which is really sad. Because what I should have done is I should have written down exactly where these were. And I didn't do that. So I know I have some on TikTok. I know I have some on Facebook. I have all of that. Wait, what was the question? I use incense ash. That is fantastic. Okay. Incense ash is awesome. Okay, I recently did a clearing for somebody and I moved my stuff. Because yes, I'm still working on my office, but good news, people, I found my eyelashes. Yeah, I found my eyelashes. Can't find the glue, but I found my eyelashes. So maybe next week we'll be back lashed up. Yeah. So I kept finding I just kept finding some really, really neat things, like what you can do to clear, what you can do to cleanse. And like people write things on their bay leaves and put that in the salt and put that in corners that they feel like that helps them manifest, and that is absolutely fine if that's the way you want to do it. I burn my bay leaves when I do that. If there's something that you're wanting to clear or protect yourself in some way while you're sleeping, salt is fantastic for that. I like to use the salt in the I use it in this particular one, which is rainbow fluorite, but I've bought these in clear quartz, rose quartz. I've given them away, but I've bought these in a lot of different kinds of crystals, but they're just perfect. They're meant for a candle. As you can see, I put stuff in this all the time. They're meant for a candle, but I put stuff in it for my dream jars. So my dream jars, I just sit beside my bed, and it's either to enhance my dreams, which is what I use mugwort for, because I put mugwort in my dream jars to enhance the dreaming. But the salt is there to help cleanse and clear my dreams, so that maybe if there's something that keeps coming to me continually that I'm just like, we got to figure that out, and I want to clear it up. So that's what I do. What? This is Mouse. I don't know why his little face is blurry. Okay, but this is Mouse. So But this is this is a great way to clear your energy. It's a great way to clear your home. You can have these little things filled with salt around your desk at work if you're in a cubby, which I remember those, like, in a cubicle, in a cubby, is very, very disruptive. And the energy that you feel from everybody around you is it's very disruptive. So think about that, like keeping small things of salt around your desk may not be as obvious as crystals if you feel like, you don't want people to know why you have crystals there or whatever, but you can sit those around. You can disguise them very well. I know people are weird, but I mean, yeah, it takes one to know one, right? Thank you. He is a pretty kitty. Isn't he pretty? But I feel like there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. And I definitely feel like cleansing your energy, washing your face, your hands with salt is going to be really, really helpful to you, especially if you are in a profession like the ones that we've been talking about. If you are in the medical profession of like any kind, a nurse, a doctor, someone who is touching people all the time. I would say a pharmacist, but they don't touch people as much. I mean, unless they're giving them like, injections, because they give immunizations now in pharmacies. But anybody in the medical profession, really, it's a good idea to use a lot of salt. And also doTERRA on guard, just letting you know. Then we have people that do any kind of hands-on stuff like massages or Reiki. Really, if you're doing readings for somebody with cards, clear yourself with that. Clear yourself with salt. Clear your energy with salt. It's very, very important, especially with your hands, because your hands are bringing it in. Clapping works too. Somebody just said, walk around, Michelle said to walk around clapping. Yeah, clapping helps too. Clapping your hands together always helps to like clear your energy with that way, doesn't it? Mouse helps me clear my energy too. I know, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. Him's waiting for his late dinner. Yeah. So the other thing, and the reason why I brought this out, because this is what I burn a lot of candles. I don't know. Some of you have met me, right? Some of you know me on here. I burn a lot of candles. So I discovered that my cats can't get their little faces in here. Yeah. But I can get my hand in there and I can put salt, I can put crystals, I can put like herbs all around it. I can do a lot of fun things in this. And Mouse and his furry little friends cannot get their faces in this, even the wide mouth jars. So if you don't want to cover your salt, I get that 100%. I would use something that's a bit taller that they can't get down into. Now, will they still turn it over? Yeah, 100%. I've already tested that out. We have some kittens that were born in March on the vernal equinox. They turn everything over. It's been so much fun. So, I love these little things. I love that they have a cap, and that Dollar Tree makes a smaller version of this. Fantastic. So it doesn't matter if you're using salt that is just regular out of the box, or if you're using black salt. Salt is very powerful. It truly, truly is. There's some really great places to buy Dead Sea salt online. If you're interested in it, I can post them. I can tell you where I buy it. Like I said, when I lived in Colorado, it was really easy because I could just buy it from the Vitamin Cottage. Somebody did tell me that I could get it from Sprouts, but I haven't seen it. So I don't know if I have to order it from Sprouts, and I don't know if it would be cheaper. I don't know. But I do love the Dead Sea salt. I just like it. It's invigorating. Mm-hmm. So I use it. I use it to. I put it in water. I mix it up a little bit, and then I rinse my mouth with it. I sit it in jars, around my house. And I can tell when the salt needs to be updated, when it needs to be changed, because the energy really does get stagnant. And it's easy to do in my house because I basically live in a Marquez frat house. It's me and the Marquez men. So that's fun. But the salt is really great. Salt on my desk. I need to put it back out here. But I've been doing all this work in this office. It's never ending because I took a break from working on the office to work on the house. And shit happens. And I'm still waiting for a couple of pieces to come in that have been back ordered. I mean, what are you going to do? But the salt, I think that it's actually going to be a great thing for my space. When I was single with no children and only one dog, I would just leave salt like sprinkled across door frames, across windowsills. I don't recommend that with as many pets as I have now. 3 dogs and a blue million cats. I don't recommend that because they will just like lap it up. But my dog Captain, I mean, he loved food a lot, but he didn't really lick the windowsills and the door frames. But I thought it was great. I also put peppermint in my salt. When I did that in Colorado, I would just put a few drops of peppermint essential oil in it and like put it in the window frames and the door frames. That's another thing, is that you can always add essential oils. I like what Michelle said because she said she uses incense ash 100%. You can absolutely use that. I see my little abalone shell over there. I have an abalone shell that has all the stuff that I use for clearings, when I do clearings of people's homes or offices or work or whatever. And I put all the smudge in that abalone shell, and I add a lot to it. Yes, I have white sage, but I also have like cedar. I also have rose petals. I have lavender in there. I have rosemary. I have a lot of stuff in there. I put ash from my incense in there. You can do that with your salt. So save your ash from your incense, like from the little incense burners that you have, and put it in your salt and store it around. If you want to put essential oils in there, a couple of drops will do it. You don't have to do a whole lot. It's really powerful. Same if you're preparing it for your bath. I love to have salt pre-prepared for my bath so that it's ready to go when I'm just like, ooh, I could really use some frankincense. Okay, let's go with, I use so many different ones, I can't even tell you. Ylang ylang is one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, have y'all smelled that? It smells so good. I put a lot of stuff in my salt, and then I add it to my bath, especially because I live, again, in an old house. So we have a septic tank, and you can't like just let the herbs go down the drain. Not a good idea. So instead of like sieving through my entire bath water and making sure no herbs go down the drain, using the essential oils is wonderful. It really is. It's great. There was something about like I do use a lot of like this came from Sprouts, and it's this is a dietary supplement. It's not an essential oil. It's a dietary supplement. It's cayenne, by the way. But this is an alcohol. This is an alcohol. It will evaporate. It's not really like the essential oils. The essential oils will mix in nicely with the salt. The essential oils will mix in nicely with, well, really the ash too. I mean, the essential oils will mix in nicely with it. It is, the salt is going to like mix in, but it's not going to completely disintegrate, and it's not going to evaporate like the alcohol. Alcohol will evaporate when it's left out, and it will also cause the salt to melt. And I sometimes want the salt to be a little bit gritty because, again, especially if you're exfoliating with it, and there are lots of things online to do salt and sugar scrubs. I've actually taught classes on that, where you can do salt or sugar scrubs for your face, for your skin. It's a wonderful, wonderful exfoliant. Yes, it's a natural exfoliant. So there's that as well. The sugar scrubs will draw ants. Just FYI. The salt won't. Isn't that fun? Okay, I'm trying to remember. Okay, I talked about the types of salts. I think I covered everything. Do you guys have questions? This is wonderful for clearing your energy. It's wonderful for clearing your physical body. It's wonderful for clearing your home, your office, your laundry, all of it, your dreams, 100%. I use different things in my dream jars. This last one had sand in it. I don't know if you can see, it still has sand in it. This last one had sand in it because when I go to the beach, I get sand at new moons and full moons. Y'all know how I am. I plan my vacations around that shit so that I can get the right sand. I know. But I will reuse my salt. I will reuse it because I sit it out in the moon to clear. And sometimes I sit it out in the sun too. I'm just like, let's just leave that out there and see what happens. Because the sun is very, very clearing. It is. Okay, I'm blanking. I don't know what is going on with me. I feel like I had enough coffee today, but I'm blanking on all these words. But there is a black stone that doesn't like to be put in the moon to clear. And I'm blanking on the name right now, but I have it written down. It likes to be put out in the sun to have it cleared. Some things do. Some things like to be put out in the sun, some the moon. But really, the full moon energy is fantastic for clearing and recharging all of your tools. Salt, crystals, cards, anything. And I know that I've done tutorials on that in this show where I've shown you guys how you can use clear plastic tubs to sit them outside to clear if it's raining or if the weather's a little iffy and you're like, I'm not sure about this. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic way to clear your stuff while keeping it protected from the elements, because we need to do that. And not all crystals want to get wet. Anything that ends in ITE doesn't like the water. It turns toxic in the water. So we should think about that too. With the selenite and the pyrite and the fluorite, unless they're polished, they don't like the water. I know. So, and we don't want to put our salt out in water because it dissolves. There you have it. Yeah. So I think that it's fantastic. It is awesome. I mean, look at what salt does to our bodies. The first thing when most people, when they used to, And I say used to because I remember my grandmother doing this in the 80s and the 90s. Well, really up until she passed away earlier this year. If somebody was constipated, she would make them a glass of salt water. I mean, it can make you gag, but it'd clear your system. You know what I mean? Yes, you can clean crystals in the sun. The moon is my favorite, but I mean, the full moon is my favorite. Non-eclipse. Same with the sun, non-eclipse. I like to put my cards, especially if I've had a busy day or a busy week or whatever. I set these cards out in the full moon sun. Now, not to be weird, but I do spread them out because I don't want just the top one to get like faded. I know. And it doesn't take that long either. It doesn't take that long. Like you can set them out there for like, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't take that long. You can also leave them out there all day, but it doesn't take that long for the sun to like clear that energy. So I do that. But yeah, my selenite, if I feel like that things are just getting a little stale, a little stagnant, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, I will absolutely just step outside. I'll clear myself. You know how I am. I go out there and I touch a tree. So I'll put my cards out there next to the tree that I touch all the time. And then I just set them out in the sun. I put things out in the moon. But again, my makeup brush, I don't really like adding additional chaos in. So I don't do any of this stuff during the eclipses. So we've got our eclipse tonight, the lunar eclipse tonight. We're going to have the solar eclipse 14 days. So just keep that in mind. I don't really manifest during those particular like peaks. So that new moon coming up that has the solar eclipse, I just skip it. Not that there's anything wrong with eclipse energy. And I do have eclipse water sitting over here because sometimes you just need a little chaos. But really, most of us try to avoid that. Yeah, it's fun. Well, it's not, which is why I avoid it. Yeah. Okay. I think I got everything covered. That feng shui book that I love so much, I've shared it on here like a blue million times. And I'm so sorry. I had to like quickly move everything in a hurry so that my husband could help me like nail some stuff up. And I also thought that I had bookcases coming, but turns out I didn't. I know. So I moved a lot of stuff around really quickly and it got misplaced. But that was like this afternoon. And I was also like, it was kind of a chaotic day, just to let you know. I mean, it was eclipse energy. What are you going to do? And I'm helping my boys, like both of them have projects due this week. So that's fun. But the fun part is one of them is doing a project on the moon phases. That I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, we can do this and this and this. And he was just like, are you doing this project? Pretty much. Yeah. So I think that did make him happy that I got so excited about it that I'm almost willing to do his entire project. Don't tell his teachers. If you're watching, I'm sorry. They won't be watching. They don't know me like that at the school. So, but just to tell you that's why things are a little bit disorganized. I had everything like lined up. Like this is my empath notebook. I love this notebook. This is my empath notebook. So I had like all this wonderful stuff lined up about like the salt and how great it is. But let me tell you, if you are in a place where you are sleeping next to or in the same dwelling, home, apartment, condo, I don't know. If you're sleeping, next door to some crazy energy, putting some salt around is really good. If you have some crazy roommate situations, put salt in your room in the corners and especially near the door frames. I've somebody that tied them up into tiny little bags and taped them to the door. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But honestly, her roommate situation was really, really bad. So there's that. But really, sleeping next to someone, you absorb their energy all the time. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it will wear you the hell out. I mean, it will exhaust you and you'll start questioning yourself like, oh my gosh, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And that again is where you need to stop and say, is this coming to me or from me? If you're not normally a person that has a lot of anxiety, if you're not normally a person that feels like a lot of those stressful feelings, or if you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about this, I'm worried, if that's not your normal thought process, then it's time for you to sit back and go, is this coming to me or from me? I know, because people will share the things that they feel good about, but you don't mind that. I don't mind it when Dr. Seuss is super happy, or somebody just won a hockey game, or I don't know. He likes the Avalanche, but I don't know all those hockey teams. It's not my area. When things go right for him, he's just like, oh my gosh, it's so happy. Well, I get happy too, but I don't question it then. I mean, feeling happy, yeah, I don't question it. It's when we feel really shitty that we start questioning it. Like, what's happening? What? Yeah. We don't need that. So, and I will say at the same time, he's been picking up on a lot of this, the stuff that's going on with me physically. And I feel really bad for him because I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to make you feel like, I don't want him to feel like he has an autoimmune issue either. So I've been making sure to put salt on his side of the bed. What a nice wife I am. I know. I'm just absolutely hilarious. Really. Okay. I know that's not a contagious feeling, but there are lots of wonderful things that you can do with salt. I encourage you to go out and try them. Don't rub salt in an open wound. Don't get it in your eyes. You will regret those things. I have done them. I don't recommend it. Salt in your hair will dry it out, but it's also a really, really good cleaner. You don't have to use it every day, but it's wonderful. It is. This is why so many people feel good after they swim in the ocean. Unless there's sharks there, we don't recommend that. It is his project. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for telling me that. But it's the moon. Do you know how many shirts I have with the moon phases on it? I mean, it's insane. But I mean, look at this shirt that I'm wearing tonight. Even this has some moons on it. My earrings have moons on them. Everything in this office has some kind of moon theme. I even have a moon in my logo. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. I know. I love the moon. All right. So go try. Go tell me what's happening. Let me see how this changes up your energy. I want to know how this helps you to stay clear, how it helps you to pull back, pull back some of your energy, how it helps you to protect your energy. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I know. You can text me. You can email me at this email address. I mean, a lot of you have my text information. And I want to know. Yeah, I will be sure to share this on. I'll share this on Metaphysical Roundtable's Facebook page and the Developing Empath. And if I find more like cleansing things, because I know I had them, and I actually had them written down on a list, but we had to move stuff around today. So I will be very happy when this office is officially done. But judging from my house, we've been working on our house for like 10 years, 9 years. Okay, it's not been a total 10 years. It's been 9 years that we've been working on the house. So I don't have that much hope for my office. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know what you do with salt. I want to hear all about it. Remember, Dead Sea salt, kosher salt, pink Himalayan salt, just sea salt, not iodized salt. No, we don't like that. I'm not upset with Epsom salt, but it's not my favorite. So there you have it. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. I know. How's everybody enjoying this 8 year? How is everyone enjoying this 8 year in the year of a dragon? You know, one of my clients today, I was talking to her and she was like, this, you know, because this is her year. She was like, how am I doing in this 8 year? Because she's an 8 and she's a year of the dragon. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she's on fire, baby. So lots of good stuff happening. I really feel like it. And my brother is a dragon and he's made big changes this year. One of my brothers is a dragon and he's made big changes. So I'm interested. I want to know what you do with salt in this 8 year of a dragon. All right, you guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And until we see each other again, what are you going to do? You're going to get out there and make your magic. Bye.